Okay, so I've been watching Arrow for the last couple of years. I started with season 3, which was a mistake, and I watched season 4, which was a mistake. But season 5 is where things started to really turn around, and I started finding out what this actual good show was that everybody was talking about. I was like, are you sure you're talking about Arrow? Because Arrow's pretty bad. But after season 5, I loved it. I loved everything about it, so I went back and I watched the entire show in like 2 or 3 weeks over the summer. This was back last year, I believe. And then I watched season. This would have had to be in 2017 now that I think about it. Yeah, this was in season. Because season 6 ran while I was a senior in high school. So I watched pretty much all of the show, and then I watched season 6, which was awful. And then I watched season 7 recently, which was even worse. But recently, the CW have announced that season 8 will be its final season, and it's a shorter season with only 10 episodes. And I'm assuming that since this year's crossover event is Crisis on Infinite Earths, that will be the moment that he dies in. I just want to say, I love Arrow so much. I bought Thea as a pop, but I can't say that the show's always been good. It's got more bad seasons than it has good seasons, which is a bad ratio for a show that only has 7 seasons. But I mean, the show's had so many ups and downs. It's hard to even say if the show is overall good or overall bad, because when the writers and everybody involved care, you get really great stuff, like in seasons 1, 2, and 5. Then you can also get 3, 4, 6, and 7, and I just don't understand what changes to make that happen. But I'm not here to break down whether or not the show in its entirety is good. I'm here to talk about what I think could happen in season 8, because the trailer from San Diego Comic-Con last month was actually very interesting. Adrian Chase showed up. There was like a new Deathstroke. I think Tommy Merlin showed up. And recently, Stephen Amell, the actor that plays the Green Arrow, has confirmed that John Barrowman will be returning. Who's John Barrowman? Malcolm Merlin, the villain from season 1, and the thorn in everybody's side up until season 5 when he was unfortunately killed. So all that's got me thinking. 2 confirmed dead characters are coming back, and there's a new Deathstroke figure, and considering that at the end of the last season, the Monitor showed up and took Oliver and was like, hey, you're going to die in this crisis, we need to go. I'm thinking that this season will be like a trial for him. I'm thinking that it's going to be... I feel like he's going to be being tested by the Monitor to make sure that he's physically and emotionally strong enough to do what he needs to do when the crisis comes around. So I think that he's going to be spending the first 7 or 8 episodes kind of going back through his life. Like, maybe he'll get a chance to save Tommy when he also defeats Malcolm. Maybe he'll get a chance to redeem Slade and not turn him into Deathstroke. Maybe he'll spare Ra's al Ghul and keep Talia from training Chase into becoming to Prometheus. So that's maybe why he's been captured, because he wasn't as adept as a villain as he could have been had he had that training from Talia. I think he's going to get a chance to change a lot of major mistakes that he's made in his life. And as a result, he'll be shaped into a new type of character going into the Crisis. Now, the way that the Crisis crossover is set up is that 3 episodes will air in mid-December, and then the last 2 will air in mid-January. That's very strange to me. Honestly, I don't want to watch Batwoman and Supergirl just so I can see this crossover. I don't even want to watch Legends of Tomorrow. I don't like that show. But, I mean, I don't understand why... It's like they're trying to do this like Infinity War Endgame thing. So, you had to wait a year between Infinity War and Endgame to find out what happened after the snap. But what we've got on this CW network of DC TV shows is nowhere near the same caliber as the MCU. So to go for that is kind of stupid. Why not just air them all in January or air them all in December? I know that Arrow is going to be airing a regular episode in that same week that the crossover is going on, and then its finale will be the crossover episode. But if that's the case, and everything is centering around this episode, the episode where Oliver dies, to such a point where all the multiverse is going to consolidate into one Earth, and the events of the crossover are going to shape the rest of the Flash series for as long as it airs. Why not just air it all together if it's all going to be that important? Imagine if you went to see Avengers Endgame and they released a half hour of it at a time for like 6 weeks. Like, how would you feel about that? You'd feel cheated, right? So it's like, what am I doing? What's the point of this? But I think it's a little silly because in the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic event from 1985, Barry Allen is the one that died. So I don't get why you would change it from being Barry to being Oliver, because Barry's death meant something. You know, he sacrificed himself to stop the Anti-Monitor from destroying the multiverse. What is Oliver going to do? I'm going to shooteth mine arrow, plakunk, and now I'm dead. I don't get it. And one thing that's also interesting is the future cast of characters, like Mia, William, Connor Hawke, all those characters. They're supposed to be coming back as regulars this season as well. So I think that even beyond where he's lived, he's going to get a chance to look into the future and see what's become of, you know, his mission, his crusade, his legacy even. And maybe that could influence his decisions, maybe affect his character in some significant way in said crossover event where he's going to die. I just really hope that they nail this, because like they've announced so many casting choices, like Kevin Conroy is playing Old Man Bruce Wayne. If you know Kevin Conroy, he voiced Batman in the animated series and in various animated movies and in the Arkham games, not Origins though, that was Roger Craig Smith. Mark Hamill's going to be playing the Joker. Everybody knows that Mark Hamill voices the Joker in just about everything that matters. What else? Brandon Routh and Tyler Hoechlin are going to be both playing different versions of Superman. Brandon Routh played Superman in a movie called Superman Returns in 2006. But there's all this stuff going on. Like, oh, all these people are playing these characters, blah, 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 blah. Aren't you excited? No, I'm not. Because DC crossovers are historically bad. That's also not the topic of the video. I just want them to, since this is the send-off for the godfather of the Arrowverse, you know, the Arrow himself, I just want them to treat it with some respect. I want them to formulate a good story. I want a satisfying payoff to the character. Also, we already know that Oliver's not actually going to die, because at the end of last season, in the future, Felicity was taken to the same void dimension that the Monitor is from to go be with Oliver for the rest of time. So that's just... But Felicity's not going to be in this season, so we'll actually be able to watch the show without wanting to vomit furiously. And I know that they shot that last season because she wasn't going to be in this season, and they had to get that scene into the show so that we would know Oliver's still alive. But why not shoot it then, vault it, and then stick it at the end of this season? Like, is the ending of this season really going to be so dramatic, so detrimental that they can't fit that in? I don't think it is. But I could try to ramble for another minute and a half to get to 10 minutes so that I can put more ads in the video. But I think you guys would all see right through that, so I'm not gonna do that. I will say this though. They've also confirmed that Wally West is going to be in the crossover. Kanan Lonsdale, the actor that plays Wally, has already quit all the shows. He's not going to be a Legends, he's not going to be a Flash, he's not going to be anything. So why are they bringing him back? And if that's the case, why do they need another speedster for the story? If not, or if they do, why not just use Bart? I don't want them to ruin Bart, but if they use Bart, I just spit all over my mouth. I don't want them to ruin Bart, but if they use Bart the right way, they could get a Wally type character out of him. Because they screwed up with Wally, and that's why they created Nora, because they knew that they couldn't get Wally right because of the way that they set him up and introduced him to the story. But why not just completely wipe the slate clean of Wally and try again with somebody else? Use a different version of Nora. I like Nora. I like Jessica Parker Kennedy. I thought she was really great on the show as Nora. And if this crossover is supposed to be the most important thing that's ever happened in the entire history of the Arrowverse, I just want every character that's in it to fit and belong. That's why I don't want Supergirl there, and I don't want Batwoman there. especially Batwoman, because she's so new. I just feel like they're gonna spend so much time trying to like justify her existence on the show, and she's probably gonna sleep with Sarah because why not, or Alex, because gay characters always undyingly have an attraction to each other without fail. There's no way that two homosexual people can look at each other and be like, not my type. It's just always, you're gay, I'm gay, let's hook up. And now I've wasted your time and you got more ads. I'm sorry. But I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.